Hey, hello. Um, it's like a minute until 7, but fuck it, I'm patient. This time, instead of sitting in front of the computer doing nothing, I was playing the demo for the new Fire Emblem Octopath Traveler game. Didn't actually get to gameplay, but God, the game looks gorgeous. I'm I'm not one to get excited for games, but I am excited for that. And yeah, hello, Anmi. Um, yeah, the direct was interesting in that there were more things that got me excited than I was expecting. Which is to say that I came out of it looking forward to two different games. um, which is more than I expected. Because there's the fucking placeholder triangle name game. But also, Danganronpa 4 got his first reveal. Looking forward to that. Yes, I am a hyped fish. Even like another minute before starting, just because want to give people like time to filter in and stuff. But, yeah, I didn't look into this movie much, so I don't know what I'm getting. Yeah, tactical RPGs are cool, and I need to play more that aren't Fire Emblem. I say as just like 2 days prior, I started a full play of Fire Emblem, but I want to play like Final Fantasy Tactics at some point. I need to like look more into the genre and play more of the games that are like known and stuff. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm really hyped for this. Then also I don't know. World's End Club was like revealed in September. It's not a new game. There wasn't even really anything new there. I will take notes on those titles. Check them out later. Add them to my stream backlog. Yeah, I was kind of annoyed that like we didn't get a ton new from World's End Club, but like World's End Club has technically been released since September because it came out on like Apple Smartwatch, I think. That doesn't get to count as being released, but it's like the story is out there for anyone who's like really dedicated enough. There was a Joan of Arc tactical RPG. I had never heard of that, but I'm not surprised. Well, I'm actually quite surprised that exists, but at the same time, I'm not remotely surprised that exists. Huh. Interesting. Neat. Okay. Joan of Arc with fantasy monsters. I mean, I like Fate. Anyway, it's been a few minutes. I'm gonna start the movie. Tell me if it's too loud. I'm trying to adjust it myself, but that can be hard to tell. So, thankfully, unlike games, it's like sound is constantly happening here, so it'll be easy. It's a little too loud. Okay. I have it set to -12 decibels right now. Excuse the low quality of the copy I have, because Download it off archive.org. Support archive.org. They are a very valuable website. Yeah, I know very little about this movie going into it, other than the fact that there are telepathic, body-snatching crab monsters who are apparently, like, hubris, like God's hubris monsters.
Said, I will destroy
yeah, Roger Corman, known for high-quality films.
Both man and beast and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them.
So, that little monologue is like the only part of the movie I knew going in. Because, like, I just checked it to make sure my copy was in English. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to... I didn't do a movie test stream, so I don't know, like, how much I should be, like, talking compared to normal streams. I don't think that this is gonna have any, like, high-value dialogue that's gonna be missed if I talk over it. So, it'll be fine.
Range. We can see only a small part of the island from this spot, but yet you can feel lack of welcome, lack of abiding life, huh?
Yeah, I felt the same when I came here before to rescue your first one. I not only knew that they were gone, but that they were
Terrible
lost.
audio quality. Wasn't expecting that.
Please, Lieutenant. Some of those men are our friends from the same institute.
Sorry, Miss Hunt.
They definitely
I'm not so
were
sure
recording
you're
on a
right, Mr.
beach, I
Quinlan.
can tell that much.
Maybe their bodies are gone. But who can tell of
They-
their souls, eh?
Those waves are loud.
Maybe if I go to them, they will answer. Their ghosts will answer. McLean! Hello! Hello! McLean!
Where is the house, Lieutenant? You can't see it from the shore. It's back in the hills, at the head of that gorge,
Like-
just hidden in the cliff.
How fitting.
Even at the cost of
Have a look at it.
terrible audio. I think I do appreciate just like shooting on the beach here. Shooting on location is cool.
Hold your headway! You can approach! Hey, sit down in there!
Unfortunately, like the start of a monster movie
Well, get him up!
is always the least interesting part because that's before they can get to the monsters. Oh, okay, never mind. Guy's already dying.
What's the
Also,
problem
yeah,
there?
this was like one mic. They were just like, we're going to the nearest beach to record this shot. So that looked like it was a squid tentacle, not a crab. God, I hope this movie's title doesn't lie. I heard like bits and pieces. Yeah, 20-minute opening scene and then 20 minutes of nothing. This movie's only an hour long, so I don't expect it to be that long with nothing
Nervous? What do you
happening.
mean nervous? I'm not nervous. It's a little high strung, that's all. Come on, help me
At
get
least
these
I
pineapples
hope that this
inside.
movie isn't just
You know,
a
I don't
third
know what we're gonna use these
nothing.
for out here anyway. That's just to practice pitching for those babies out there.
There were the crabs.
Took his head off. His head? I'm afraid so. We're going to take him back to Eniwetok for burial.
I hope that man's death is not an omen of things to come.
Well, frankly, Doctor, I wouldn't care to stay here with you. But if you run into trouble or you need extra supplies, you can always reach the base by radio. And as of this rotten weather, will let us get back to the base at all.
Something in the air is
Yeah,
wrong.
face.
Can you tell me what it is?
The fake
Lieutenant?
accents here are
I don't know,
not
sir.
good.
Maybe it's because there's no sound. No animal noises of any kind.
Well, looks like we got the dynamite by mistake.
I'll cart it back down to the beach.
Oh, excuse me, Doctor.
That's quite all right. Just call me Marty.
Okay, Marty.
You know, the Navy boys really fixed this place up. I'm almost going to enjoy being here.
Yeah, you'd never think it was a complete wreck a few months ago.
If you want to
Quote
see a wreck, take a
unquote,
look at my
the
bag.
native boys. I heard that right.
Yeah, it'll be dark
Right.
in a few minutes. Want to come watch it take off? Like to. Now, get the others.
Lieutenant, I don't want to annoy you again.
I don't know, the dialogue in this so
Not
far is
a hair,
really
not a
generic,
fingernail.
which is,
Only
you know,
McLean's journal?
Well, it's
I
all
expected.
That they are dead, I can believe possible. But to vanish from the face of the earth? No.
The Navy thinks they were all at sea in their small boat.
Yeah, I know what you mean by,
All
like, the
hands is an
movie
old
accent,
story.
because it's like,
Yes, but
we need a character speaking different, so let's just have them talk this way. Was this filmed in Monterey? Was this filmed in Monterey? I suspect it was somewhere on the California coast. Oh yeah, like, it was almost certainly like a California production, but like... I suspect it was like... somewhere within our... like... I have like an area range in mind. So yeah, just like... if it's an accent that nobody uses, that means that it'll be equally foreign to everyone. Because that way it's just like... it doesn't scan to anyone audience as being offensive that you got like their accent really horribly wrong. Because no one uses that accent.
One month, no more.
I want to look at this movie. This was filmed in Monterey.
Did you hear those sounds just before the quake?
What sounds, mon ami?
The deeper booming and rumbling?
No, I'm afraid not.
Dr. Carson means the explosions. We should get up to the cliffs.
Hey, Hank, you're a scientist. How come they need a demo team like us on this hunk of dirt?
I'm no scientist. I'm a technician and a handyman.
So you still don't know what's going on.
Well, you remember that first big H-bomb test? The one that blew Ujulap Island right out of the ocean?
Now, who forgets that?
A tremendous amount of the radioactive fallout came this way.
A great seething,
Leo
burning
Carrillo
cloud of it
State
sank into this
Beach.
area, blanketing the island with hot ashes and
That's not familiar
radioactive
to me.
seawater. Dr. Vigon's group is here to study fallout effects at their worst. Dr. James Carson is a geologist.
Malawi.
He'll try to learn what's happening to the soil.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The botanist, Jules Devereaux, will examine all the plant life for radiation poisoning.
Like, it was Monterey to me because of the sand, not so much of the rocks. Monterey isn't particularly, like,
Dr.
rocky
Carl
area.
Vigon is a nuclear physicist. He'll collect their findings and relate them to the present theories on the effects of too much radiation.
Oh,
We
so-
blow up mountains for the
okay, so this is a
Carson.
Godzilla ripoff.
But this
There
is the
are
second bunch of
evil,
brains to come
terrible
out here. What happened to the
gods,
first?
hubris crabs
They were
because
here.
radiation.
And a storm hits.
That makes
And they were
makes
gone.
sense.
That's all anybody knows.
Doesn't anybody wonder?
Everybody wonders.
Yeah,
Just don't like to talk about it.
I don't think it was like
Come on,
U.S.
we'll miss the
testing
takeoff.
panic out of like actual U.S. fears of it. Though I think there were some of those at the time. I think it's more like they're doing the thing that the Japanese movie monster movies did, and people like those.
Hank, get to the radio.
A plane just blew up off screen too. That's
It's a commercial station. Probably
apparently the
cars
director was
involved.
paid $100.
It's all from beyond the area
So-
of disturbance. I don't get a thing on the Navy.
That says some stuff
Keep
about this
trying.
movie's budget, and we are
All
seeing
those
that
men
budget.
killed. We can't even send word through this storm.
The Navy will send a search plane, honey.
Yeah, like I definitely do think that like
will assume that Lieutenant Quinlan
nuclear
decided
testing
to
panic
remain here
from
rather
a
than
U.S.
risk the
perspective
storm.
is interesting in its own
I know we
right,
talked about
even
getting
if
as
it's
much
like
static as we are.
probably just being done
Probably.
to cash in on
Which means
trends
we can't
from
do anything until conditions improve.
other
So why
successful
don't we let Hank
movies.
keep trying while we begin our own work? We have to go over McLean's journal sooner or later, so it might as well be now. Then let us go into the living room.
Yeah, maybe by the end of this movie we'll have a
March 11th.
action
Today,
message.
Dr. Bendia's culture failed to produce any sign of bacteria, though left for
Yeah,
5 days in
like-
the open. Friday, March 12th.
This was at a time when
Afternoon,
Americans
Professor
were
Carter
becoming
found a
more
large
aware of what
piece of
radiation
flesh
having the
And it's
same
dangerous
composition
worm.
as that of the common earthworm, but measured 24 inches
But
by
it like that kind of thing never really
With
like
this section as a
permeated
measure,
culture,
the
except in a
worm-like
like
creature would be more
the
than
Ruskies
5
could
feet in
nuke us
length.
at any time kind
Most
of
intriguing is the
fear.
tissue's consistency. It proves impossible to cut. Knives passing through the flesh, leaving no mark.
Yeah,
Fire applied to the tissue.
the black and white
Any
vibes.
result?
I think like they
The
complement
journal
this a
ends
lot.
there.
Like this is a very like low budget, cheesy, like in a lot of ways like poorly made film.
But it's getting
But
very late. Why don't we work out tomorrow's schedule and then get some sleep?
What about that 5-foot
I think-
nightcrawler?
Well, excuse me.
I think like this movie would not work if it
Book
were
you
in
read.
color
We weren't laughing at you, Hank.
for a
It's
variety
just
of
that
reasons.
McLean's
But it's like
agreeing to
it just
imply
like
that the flesh was from a
this
big
kind of movie
worm.
like is a
Said
vibe. This
from
is
a
the kind of
worm-like
thing
creature.
that MST3K
It might
would
have been a sea
like
worm.
make an episode about.
They've been known to grow much longer than 5 feet.
Well, excuse me for shooting my mouth.
Yeah.
off,
If
but I wouldn't say anything about the sea.
if like any of the people behind this were like more
Just talk about
interesting,
worms.
they would. This could have been a very interesting movie. It could have been the American Godzilla, with it like the inclusion of things that are uniquely American in culture. But so far, that's not what it is. And also, like people have been trashing Roger Corman tonight, including me. But I want to say, I don't think Roger Corman is like a bad director. Yes, I'm an MST3K fan. Why do you think I'm doing this?
Towards McLean's worm theory. Nothing.
Like, this is me
Would know better than
becoming
I.
the
But why, I
MST3K
ask?
VTuber.
Did the writer stop in the middle of a sentence?
Yes,
But yeah,
why?
no, like I don't think
Unless
Roger
something
Corman
really
is like
unusual
a
happened.
bad director,
I'm sure
and
he
I
would
don't
finish.
think he
We
has.
shall find out, I think.
I don't think he
Jim
lacks
and I
good
will head down to
ideas
South Valley in the
because
morning. You know, I haven't seen any insect life since we arrived.
fucking Little Shop of Horror. Little Shop of Horror is like a really fun movie, and I'm talking about like the original. The original movie is like really cool and interesting, and I like the remake probably more, but like both movies are good, and Roger Corman's has definitely like set a good base for the remake. It has its own things to say. Yeah, Roger Corman was a skilled filmmaker. It's just that like he perfected his craft in B movies. Like he was the director you got if you needed like if you had a B film and you needed another for that showing to like share the ticket. And that's fine. Like you don't need to be a great director or anything to like make good art. Like I don't think I would enjoy this as much if I were watching it alone. Being able to like talk over it definitely makes it more bearable. Also, this is actual underwater filming. This is this is actually pretty cool for early 60s. I'm surprised. Yeah, like kudos here. I think like this might have been better in color, just because like this is a pretty experimental thing at this point. But this is cool. Like, I doubt that they were out in like the actual ocean for this, or maybe they were. But this feels like they were just like on a constructed soundstage, maybe. But, yeah. This is very cool to be doing in the late 70s. James Bond did this like a decade later, and it was like big. Like when James Bond did this, it was like, wow, people can do this. But then a decade earlier, here's this movie. Like actors are swimming with fish. If these actors weren't in the water, this is incredible effects. And if they are, it's even better. Oh, okay, it's underwater in the Pacific. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if they're like on Malibu Beach, if they're on Malibu Beach, then it would make sense that the Pacific is like their ocean, the one that they're nearby. So, kudos, movie. You had something that like I actually really like. Oh, okay. It was an aquarium. That makes more sense. Like, I wouldn't expect a movie nowadays to film in the ocean, let alone like when you're doing this deeply experimental thing. So, I like fair play for filming in an aquarium. It looks like the ocean anyway. It's a very convincing effect. So, that was really cool. I hope this movie isn't, like, all downhill from here. But I suppose that, like, all depends on what the, actual monster is like.
You nearly frightened me to death.
Well, no, I couldn't very well announce myself underwater tonight. Besides, you look scared down there.
Well, I was scared. And lost, too. You know, Dale, it's funny, but I was using a big black rock as a landmark. But when I swam back, the rock was gone.
Well, I did see something move near you.
You did?
I feel like the equivalent of Roger Corman in the modern day
Just
are
a big
like
black shape.
directors who specialize in like Hallmark
Land crabs
movies.
and seagulls. Everything else is dead.
That like the directors who you know make 2 movies a year, and they're like romantic, like they're the same like romantic movie that they make every time.
Oh, hold it. That rate will drop right off.
And I think like that's like in part because of changing trends. There's not much demand for like low budget sci-fi anymore, or at least there is a demand for it, but all of the demand for it can be filled with stuff from the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
It has only appeared in the last 20 minutes.
So we don't really need more of this.
Nothing but land crabs.
I want to go down there.
No.
Why not?
You are a geologist. You know that a second disturbance would cause a cave-in that would crush anybody down in the pit.
Yeah, there are like sci-fi originals and
right about
stuff.
a cave-in?
It could be. Assuming this was
that is
caused
fair.
by a disturbance.
Why, it's glazed as though it had been fired in a
I
kiln.
think the problem that like or like the big difference is that like
Summers, you and fellas better put a couple of your lanterns around this pit.
there
So as to
wasn't
keep any
like
of us from falling in the middle of the night.
when I think
Come
sci-fi
on,
original
let's go back to
movie,
house.
I think Sharknado. And Sharknado is bad. Like it is a wholly disingenuous movie made to cash in on like a trend of like genuinely made movies, but doing so in a way that is wholly ungenuine. As opposed to this, which like you can tell that there is care put into the film work here.
McLean?
It's cheaply made, but it's like we wouldn't have gone that underwater scene if if the filmmakers didn't care about this movie. So I think there's like a difference in attitude.
Martha, help me. Help me. Martha, come to me.
Oh, hey, a trademark or a watermark.
Jim, but...
So you heard it too.
Yes, it was Orville McLean's voice.
He called me as plain as day.
Strange, because I only heard him call my name.
How could the Navy search this whole island and miss a survivor?
If he is a survivor.
What does that mean? You heard him as well as I?
Well, someone could have been imitating his voice.
Well, who would do that?
I don't know, but I do know that McLean's dead.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to find out for sure.
I never watched TCN, So I don't really know, but they seem cool. I don't
Jimmy, I'm
have
not going
TV
down.
anymore.
Yes,
and
I
haven't
am.
for
But
years.
cause against it.
He's afraid of cave-ins. I'm not. Keep the sawmill out of sight.
Jim, you don't know what's down there.
What could be other than earth, water, and a few land crabs?
So the term land crab is not really one that I had like heard before, because when I think of crabs, I think of like things that can go on land or on sea. Like that's their life cycle, right?
Jim?
Maybe I'm, unknowledgeable about crabs, but like they do both, right? I thought. Did she just die? Did she just die? Did she just die?
Marty. Oh, she has fainted. No more.
Okay, she only fainted.
It's all right. Where's Jim?
He's in the pit.
Nice. Like,
I saw the rope go slack.
honestly, being able to like have a channel to just
I warned him.
tune in to like.
Are you alive?
The one appeal of TV is that
We
like
are coming for you. Don't try
you
to move.
can just catch whatever is
No,
playing.
but we must go
So
down
being
to
able to
it.
turn
Not
on the
this way.
TV and
The rope may be too short. Then how?
like have something like this on and just like
Great
watch
cave
it,
to
that
the
sounds
sea.
pretty
But how
fun.
do you know the cave's
I
connected
can
to it?
definitely get the appeal of that. It's just like
Gentlemen, for reasons I
I'm a
have
fucking
guessed,
millennial.
Dr. Carson
Why would
also,
I?
These caves must join the
Why,
pit.
why would I have
because the pit
television?
was created from below, not from the surface.
Dale.
Also,
Take
okay,
Martha
crabs
back to
that
the
live
house.
mostly
The
in
rest
water
of
and
us will
mostly
look
on
at
land.
Dr.
That makes sense. There's also fucking Japanese spider crabs,
Dale, I'm all right. They'll
which
lead
are
you
the
with
most
me.
terrifying
If we can
thing
bring Dr. Carson
ever.
out, two of us are enough. If we can't, a whole army will do us no good.
Are you hiding something from us, Doctor? A theory, perhaps?
Maybe. Come.
Because
We must hurry.
Japanese spider crabs are fucking huge. They are bigger than fully
Let's get back to
grown
the house and get some
humans,
coffee.
and that should be illegal.
Oh, I thought you were the boogeyman.
I thought we heard a girl screaming during the quake. Did part of the cliffs fall away into the sea?
Part of them. Well, it was pretty dark where we were, but it looked like the whole island was coming down. The boulders almost crashed us in the tent.
The whole island, yes. We must go faster. There is very little time.
This movie has a
Little time for
disappointing
what?
number of
That
crab
is
monsters
Dr.
so far.
Wagon's small secret. Let us catch him and find out.
Okay, yeah, coconut crabs are also... I mean, crabs are terrifying in a lot of ways, so whatever species of crab you find terrifying, you are valid. I just think, Japanese spider crabs are terrifying because science cannot explain them.
Hopeless nothing. Give us
They
a bunch
are-
of them start on a wounded
they are
Marine.
massive,
Finish 'em off in 5 minutes.
and they
No
shouldn't
worries to get
be,
Jim out of that pit.
and scientists can't answer that. Nobody knows why they are so big. And I need to read y'all one of these days. I'm not a huge
Now, what do you want with McLean's journal now, honey?
I just thought
Fuck,
I'd look
what's
through it
gonna-
and see what it was Max said about those great caves appearing in the sides of the hills.
Well, it didn't say much, except that it
I'm not a
always
huge
happened at
Junji
night.
fan,
Right in here.
but that is one of those that I want
There
to check
it
out
is
someday
again.
along with that.
Another
Uzumaki.
quick.
No, the other sound. I heard it at the pit.
I'm just gonna. I'm curious to see what a gun is going to do against crabs.
No, if we both hadn't heard it, I'd swear it's my own imagination.
Now,
Dear, what can it be?
a crab is
I
fun.
don't know, but
Are
I'm
we
gonna
finally
find
gonna
out
get to
and I'll stay
see
here.
Don't go in there.
one of the monsters now? Did one of them break in, Is that what's happening? I hope that's what's happening. Yes! Holy shit! Yeah, that was great. Great use of, like, minimal effects. Upping the attention by, like, showing us something, but you don't have to show us everything at once. Yeah, we're halfway into the movie, and the movie's finally starting. Because it turns out that this movie doesn't have a lot of plot.
Come quickly.
Yes, we finally have Crab.
So let's get him out of here. We will get him out. But we must move with caution.
Why?
This movie... Fuck, when did Them come out? The Ant movie. That one, the, like, giant ant movie. Because I remember, like, in a film class being told, like, that was one of the, like, that was, like, the first movie to use animatronics in that way. But this was either, like, 3 or 5 years after that came out. So I'm interested to see if it has that same sort of technology. Or if the effects are in a different manner.
Where could he track himself? We will not find him tonight. We had better return in the morning when there's more light.
I don't like the idea of leaving him here all night with a busted
I say
leg.
a lot.
Up the rope, quickly.
And it sounds like I'm stuttering.
Through the caves.
No, up the rope.
I just say
You are a great
Yes, this movie is the crab rave for the death of Rush Limbaugh. Fucking
But there are things I do not understand. There are many things
celebrating
that I do not understand also, Julie.
the death
You had
of
better
that
climb.
fucking bigot. American Mom. Okay, look. I don't care about heavy. I care about big.
Up the
And
rope.
spider crabs are big.
Straight off.
They are like 5 feet tall. They are
Stop.
They are massive. Also, okay, yeah, them was 54. That might be a bit too early to
Whatever it was
start
must have
working
damaged
in
the wiring. Light one of the
advancements like
kerosene
this,
lamps, will you, honey?
like that into this. But maybe we'll see like something at like the climax. Also, like, shout out to this film score. It's so extremely film score. It's just like typical strings and like
Here's
stuff.
your motive.
Food.
But that's
Not
not
much
that's
considering
fun.
the size
Like
of
you
the thing
don't
that did all of this.
you don't get film scores in this style anymore, and I get why, but it would be nice to see them get brought back.
Guess there's no point waiting for the rest to get back. The storm should have let up enough for me to get through to the Navy now. Come on.
Oh, Dave.
Whatever it was that did this deliberately destroyed the radio. It had to be deliberate. Every piece of wiring has been ripped out and chopped to bits. Look, every tube has been sliced neatly in half. And it had to reach way inside to do it without wrecking these cabinets.
Well, all I can say is, why wasn't I invited to the party? Not funny, eh? Well, that's as it should be. Do you think you can fix it?
Fix it.
A comedy
all the
remake
while
of this
from the
movie
bottom
sounds
You
absolutely
have
terrible.
enough to build a new one?
Like,
I don't know.
that's how
Why do
you get
suppose it didn't come to the door and
Sharknado.
get us, girl?
I don't
Like,
know.
that
I can only guess.
this movie works
It would
because
take
it is being
considerable
sold
power to
seriously,
keep
and
the
I
intruder behind this
find
door.
it funny at
There is
times, but
power
I'm
in the light
enjoying
you're
it
living
like as a
Means
serious
afraid of
movie.
electricity.
The plot isn't
think so.
working,
Have
but
you any
like
other ideas?
it's a competently made movie, and
Once
making
upon a
it as a
time,
comedy
there was a mountain.
wouldn't work. So like,
Yesterday when we came to
thanks,
this island,
thanks, Roger
there
Corman.
was a mountain out there. Today there's no mountain.
Thanks for stopping that.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised
Also-
at anything, are you, Doctor?
But it's also
suppose you
interesting
can
to
tell
know
us
that
what tore
like
up this
he
room
liked
last night.
this one too much to let them do
I
that.
cannot tell you that.
So he considers this one of his best, and
But I can tell you this.
yeah, I can see that.
Everything that has happened from the death of the first sailor to the destruction of our radio must be something in the normal scheme of things to be
Crab Nami
separate
sounds terrible. No,
If there
don't
is a
do
single
that.
cause,
Stop.
then that cause is
Don't
outside
even
of nature.
don't even put that idea
Yes,
into
that
the
is why I
universe.
insisted on caution entering the cave.
And I don't want
We are
that.
unquestionably on the brink of a great discovery. it is not likely that that discovery will be of a pleasant nature. That is the sum of my knowledge. If you need more, I suggest you ask Dr. McLean when next his voice calls in the night. Now, let us again seek Dr. Carson.
Ooh, this tunnel is what is that scientist accent? Sounded like we're talking about that earlier. It's the every accent. No one speaks it, so it's fine to be used everywhere.
Every exit from the base of the pit. Wounded as he was, he couldn't have crawled this far.
Doesn't make sense. Or doesn't have a place. Rather. God, that would not take you guys' hand off. The ceiling is not tall enough for a falling rock to take a guy's hand off, and if it was, it would take off a lot more than just his hand.
How did you know we were in here?
We didn't. We were on the other side of the island.
Well, it used to be the other side of the island. Most of us fall into the drink already.
So we run in here when we heard you call.
Call. We didn't call you. Whose voice did you hear?
Well, it sounded like the other guy. You know, the fellow fell into the pit.
So he is still alive.
If we do not move fast, Jules will not be alive. Come, give us a hand.
Yeah, how the fuck did that guy lose his hand? What? Like, something like that. It would have to be like a knife falling.
Thank you, Martha. I could use some sleep. Messieurs et mesdames, je voudrais présenter pour votre inspection la seule fleur unique au monde.
Give me two.
Here's two. And I'll take one. Bet you 10.
Okay, I bet you 10, and I'll raise you 10.
Cut it off like a blunt rock in that main abyss scene. That wouldn't work.
What do you mean nervous?
Because the main abyss scene, like, it got her hand got hit repeatedly.
Well, big deal. So you finally won a hand.
It wasn't just like one and done.
One wild explosion ahead of you.
But here it was just like a rock was falling, and then her hand was gone.
That?
Sounds like a kid dragging a stick across a picket fence.
We ain't got no picket fence out here.
Professor Devereaux.
More.
Professor Devereaux.
This movie is good at managing its budget. Like, not showing us too much at any one time, but using it to maintain an atmosphere. I hope it's like. I am trying to
Where are you?
be really positive about this because I really like it, despite despite the fact that it's not a good, well-made movie. I think it's a good movie. I like this, and hopefully this is what I can be showing every time I put on a movie on this channel.
I will be there.
I just wanted to inflict that scene on me. I guess. It's been a while since I've watched that scene. Like 2 years since my last rewatch, I think. My neck is sore. So if my head starts moving weirdly, that's because I'm like trying to crack it.
Fellows, some else.
We're right here, Professor.
question at this point in the film. The guy whose voice they keep hearing, is that the crab's using telepathy? Was he turned into a crab, or is he alive down in the pit?
Devereaux?
Yes. What is it? I am here.
Are you all right?
Yes. The pain is less.
Okay, with this, I suspect that it's Krabs using telepathy with his voice.
Perhaps you were talking in your sleep.
Ah, yes. Then I hope
Also, like, how can
blemish the reputations of any fair ladies I
they can just hear him everywhere on the island and none of them think that's suspicious? Like,
It sounded like you.
like,
Like you would have sounded in your death agonies.
It could hardly have been me, Doctor. When I have been here all the time, dreaming of all the things I might.
what if it's like the Turtle Monster Devil Man? That would be sick. That would be sick. Also, hey Rory.
Dr. Weiger.
This is a very crab movie.
Where all of you soon will be. I shall be back tomorrow night. Bonsoir.
Devereaux! Devereaux!
What does it mean, Doctor?
He is dead.
But he spoke,
Hey,
Carl.
hey.
It's supposed to be a ghost
Glad you could
story.
join us. Especially because
No, I do not
you
believe
missed
in ghosts.
you missed a lot of the boring stuff
We are
in this
dealing with a
movie.
man who is
Things
dead,
are actually beginning to happen
but
now.
whose voice and memory live. How this
Although,
can be, I do not know.
go check the
But its
VOD later
implications
and
are
go watch
far
the
more
underwater
valuable than
scene.
any ghost
That
could
scene
ever
was
do.
there's a scene that they shot in an aquarium that like looks like they shot it in the ocean, and it's incredible, especially considering this movie was filmed in 1957. Go back and watch that when this movie is over. Like, do yourself a favor. It was great.
But what happened to their bodies, Carl?
They were eaten.
Even the bones?
Yeah, ooh,
bones
like,
are
ooh is
liquid.
right. Like, I was kind of like freaking out about it the entire time.
Dynamite. But not for grenades.
'Cause especially with like the budget this has, it was
I don't
just like,
understand it.
holy shit.
May as well pick up what's
The
left.
movie kind of peaked there, but it's
We
been
shall
a
have to
fun
stay away
time.
from
It's
the
been a
beach
fun time.
hereafter. Come, Hank, we still have the radio to repair. Tonight we will wait for Jules to speak to us.
I know I misheard the line, but it sounded like he said, "Tonight we will wait for Jews to speak to us."
Well, it's long
Which-
after dark.
Should have heard
No,
by
that.
We will
Nah,
hear.
I don't know.
Be patient. Good evening, mes amis. I am glad you are all still with us. Be not shocked that the weapon speaks. I transmit. so I
Yeah.
must be
As we
received.
said, like Corman was good at using like everything at
do you
his
want?
disposal
First,
in
I
the
want
like
to
most
reassure
efficient
you
way.
that I am of sound mind.
That dude
Not
could
of
stretch a
body.
budget like
Something
really well.
remarkable has happened to me. I would like all of
also,
you
yeah,
to come and see for
We have been
yourselves
commenting on like the old movie
in the
accent.
caves at the bottom of Carson's pit.
And what about Carson?
I'm here too. My leg no longer troubles me. It's almost exhilarating. Will you come?
Yes. Wait for us.
We'll wait.
Let's go.
I
shall
hope
need the
people are
equipment.
turning into monster crabs. That would be so cool. That would be
We
lit.
must go. We have to find out.
If that would be lit if this is a movie about carcinization. Okay, so my question: did they have the budget to make this cave a set, or did they find caves on the Malibu beach to film in?
We are here!
I'm not familiar with
Show
Malibu,
your
so I don't
head.
know if Malibu Beach has like caves like this. Return to crab. Everything to become crab. IMDb says they filmed in a cave. That makes sense. Yes! Holy shit! Crab monster. That looks great. That looks great. God, this movie is so cool. Bronson Caves in LA. Okay. This movie is so cool. Yeah, big crab. Very big crab.
Killed it. Yes. By the sheerest luck.
Why didn't the grenades hurt it?
Spider Cave from
Remember what
It.
the turtle said about the world?
I haven't seen any of the It adaptations, so I don't really know what you're referring to.
The stone penetrated its brain, or motor area, or whatever keeps the thing alive. I think if we remove the stone, the crab would return to life.
Oh, let's just leave it be, huh?
Wait. No, that's not how life works. You can't
If
You
a
can't
blade passes through
unkill
its light
something
of
by
liquid
just like
mercury,
removing
then like a river of mercury,
what
we should be able
what
to sever
killed it.
part of it by completely separating it from the rest of the body.
Like if you
Thusly,
shoot someone with a bullet
there. Now
and
we
then
have a
remove the
specimen.
bullet,
Let your dynamite hang.
they're still dead.
Do you have any theories, Doctor?
Perhaps.
Okay, at the end of the miniseries,
All I
there's a
can tell you
cave
now
where
is that this is a male
they
end
fight the
threat.
spider.
Sure as a
I have
biologist
read
will
the
know better than
It
I.
book.
Yes, Carl. I know it'll be that of an ordinary.
I've read the
land
It
crab,
book, so I know that, like, the whole spider thing. I'm a sucker for effects like this. I'm really happy with this movie. Impromptu medical coma.
You have destroyed McLean and all of his party. You have destroyed them and tried to destroy me. This, mes amis, was one grave mistake.
The crab isn't dead, just unable to heal enough to move. I suppose that makes sense with, like,
Well, Doctor.
with evil radiation crabs.
This is ridiculous.
Like, yeah, that can work
Molecular
as a
structure
headway.
of this crab is entirely disrupted. There's no cohesion between the atoms.
I don't understand.
Nor do I. Apparently, we have one of those biological freaks resulting from an overdose of radiation poison. The way to explain it is, look, electricity. The free electron in the copper atom breaks off to
I
circle
should
the
do
next
a movie
atom,
stream.
taking
I
the
should,
charge
like,
along the
pop a
wire.
bag of popcorn
Do you follow me, Hank?
and eat
I
that
think so.
while I watch the movie.
The free
That'd be
electrons
fun.
jump from atom to atom along the copper at the speed of light. I remember that from high
Ah,
school.
they said early on that the
Yes,
weird animals
atom
have
to
separate
atom.
healing.
Well, something
Okay,
like
that
that
makes,
has happened
that
to
makes
our crab.
sense. I missed
But instead
that.
of free electrons, the crab has free atoms, all disconnected. It's like a mass of liquid with a permanent shape. Any matter, therefore, that the crab eats will be assimilated in its body of solid energy, becoming part of the crab.
Like the bodies of the dead men?
Yes. And their brain tissue, which after all is nothing more than a storage house for electrical impulses.
That means that the crab can eat his victim's brain, absorbing his mind intact and working.
It's as good a theory as any other to explain what's happened.
But, Doctor, that theory doesn't explain why Jules and Carson's minds have turned against us.
Preservation of
This
the
movie's science does not check out, but I appreciate
Now
it.
they are land crabs.
And I especially appreciate
How
the
was the
doctor,
crab blown
or
up
the,
the
like,
island?
doctor scientist
I'm not
guy
sure.
being like,
But imagine they are able to send out
I could
arcs
be
of heat.
wrong,
They are
but this is the best theory I
the
can
size
think
of the
of.
Pittsburgh glaciers
Because that
hit the
gives
rock
the
for
writers a
They can
ton
melt
of
and fuse
leeway
parts of
here.
the caverns. Explode the materials
Because it's like, yeah,
contained
he
and
could
bring
be
about the slime.
completely wrong.
Why?
To get at us, of course.
Looks like we're on the verge of a blessed event.
What's that? What's that?
Or is this the one you killed?
No, it is still alive. We did not kill it.
Notice the belt of yellow fat around the base of the shell? It would indicate that she's in a very delicate condition, and pretty close, too.
The
I, for one,
yellow,
would like
huh?
to be around to hear the patter of so many tiny feet.
I'm glad that
We've
they're
gotta
making
kill it.
a color,
It's easier said than
a
done.
plot point in
now
this
wait, this
black
needs
and white
some
movie.
Doctor, you're
So
not
the
going to
audience can
suggest that
pick
we
up
save
on
it for
that.
science. That would be suicide.
That's a piece of foreshadowing.
No, thank you, Martha.
That's good filmmaking
I have no
right
ambition
there.
toward becoming a mad scientist. But I do think we ought to try and capture the thing. Would you not like to examine a live specimen?
Certainly I would. But I had a chance to see how the specimen examined the lab wall last night.
Hey, take a look at this. You said something about the crab being a
Now we have
Doctor.
canon colors for fan art.
Let's find out.
If you make fan art for this movie, tag me. I want to see that.
Ashes. The electricity destroyed the leg in less than a second.
That proves that the crab is negatively charged.
Yes. Then, Hank, you must create a trap of positive energy.
Ha! It works! Sure it does, Doctor. It's easier to build than a model airplane.
The charge must be just strong enough to de-energize the crab, long enough for us to remove the claws and cage it, but not strong enough to kill
Yeah,
the
old
thing.
movie electricity
That's
is
fine,
incredible
I'll get the
because
crab to
it's
step
like
into
Apparently, the
it
creature
does
sleeps by
anything.
daytime. We must
Similar
take
to
the
like
ark
a
and place it in one of the
nuclear
well-traveled
from a
cave
certain
rooms.
era. I mean,
He
this
has 8
same
legs
era.
with which you step on the plate. I am sure he will
Yeah,
manage.
Buckaroo Banzai
Yes, but you
is a
better
great
select a new
movie.
approach to the cave. Beach entrance is completely
It's
underwater.
fantastic.
Using the dynamite.
Giant crab,
We must
foreign
hurry.
sounding scientist slash Vic. Godspeed. Also, just
You've already lowered the electric guys into the cave?
Yes, you must place them either side of one of the upper caves. The lower cabins will be flooded by now.
Use the underwater channels to the ocean as your escape. We'll try to attract his attention from up here. Take care, man.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai is a great movie, and frankly, Buckaroo Banzai is like fits the aesthetic of movies I want to show on my channel. And if it wasn't copyrighted, I definitely would, because it's like Buckaroo Banzai is how you make like a low budget, like intentionally like B movie style type thing. Right. Like that's a movie that like gets what is good about B movies, what is enjoyable about like all that stuff, like serials too. Like it gets that, and is able to make those without it feeling like it's talking down to the audience.
Them everywhere.
Or it's
You know, I
like,
bet you could
oh
even get down in the
yeah,
crowd.
this movie is bad on purpose. No, like, no, fuck off with that. Let's get a movie which is unironically like trying to be good, is good,
Why do you ask?
and like is showing a love letter to the past of
Behind that wall.
previous movies in its format. Yeah, all the actors are just fantastic in the role. And yeah. The 80s were a great time for
This might be the perfect time to collect
For,
some of
like,
Ryan's mercury.
movies that like
If I can't make it
understood
back,
how
get out of
to
here
be understood how to be what Hollywood has been trying to remake for the like every constantly since. You don't get stuff like that anymore, where it's just like unabashedly itself. Instead, it's all like you need to have an ironic edge to it, and that really started in the '90s, but it never went away.
They just ran across the bottom of the pit into another cave. Martha! Let's get down to the sea entrance.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro is keeping it alive, but unfortunately, like, he's one director, and he's like, I can't say he's underground when, you know, he's like Oscar acknowledged and everything. But as far as like the viewing public is concerned, and as far as audiences are concerned, like he's not like he is the exception that proves the rule more than anything. So more of this underwater filmmaking. This is so good. I love this so much. Like, God. I love inventive filmmaking like this, especially that they were able to film it on a low budget. This is incredible. This is fantastic stuff. Like, God, like, what a way to make this movie stand out in my mind forever. I'm gonna be, like, I want to be watching a lot of movies, on this channel. And I imagine after a point that's gonna mean that they all run together, but, it's like, this one is going to stand out as, like, the one that got it right in terms of, like, I don't know. good effects win me over, especially practical effects.
Just like X-rays.
So, you have wounded me.
Yeah, like the 90s and 2000s were weird. They didn't really like.
Good. For I can do
90s music and 2000s music are each like very defined in terms of their aesthetic, but movies never really figured it out. God, the racism and classism are solved with the power of love and understanding. You're not describing Crash, and Crash does not do that, but that just brings to mind Crash, and
All we have to worry about is the strength of our signal.
God,
That is if Dr. Devil
Crash is
Park
such a
leaves alone
terrible
long enough to try it
movie.
out.
I'm afraid they won't.
Crash
Rather
is
than
just
our receiving radio
abysmal.
signals, they would prefer to receive us in that great common stomach of theirs.
I watched Crash
Come on,
for a
Carl,
film
let's see what's left
class.
of this rock.
I hope there is still
And it was
something
just
left
like-
upon which to stand.
Cool. Everyone is
It's about time I
racist.
fixed her some food.
White people don't have any guilt for their racism because everyone is racist, and that makes it okay. Like, but also you need to stop being racist. Everyone needs to stop being racist, including black people,
Now there's less than half
because
the
they're
city left.
complicit
Soon
in
we
this
will have
too.
nowhere to run. That's the idea, isn't it? The path is still there. Yes, Carl. What does it mean?
Watch Crash if you're ready to like watch something you dislike.
Hello, Malahinis. This is your favorite disc jockey.
Crash is like
Listen now to Mokakima and his Molokai boys playing Moana
Crash does a
Moana.
lot in terms of like making itself stand out in terms of just like
Only the receiver
getting
has the transmitter.
everything about like racism and its causes and
Maybe with his telegraph key and a Morse code.
even like Black America and everything, and like it just doesn't get any of that.
No.
Like racism is cyclical. If you're racist towards someone, they'll be racist too.
Sound came from over
Not,
there.
you know,
Let's go.
racism is a product of a given society.
Where did you ever learn to fix all these things?
In the Navy during the war.
Like
And I knocked around a
it
lot
seems
of
that
radio and the TV
it is
service.
like I think it believes that you could be racist against white people, and that's the biggest indictment
After
I
Dale
can
and
give
I
it.
graduated, we stayed on at the Institute of Research.
You've been together ever
I
since.
don't even know what the cover for Crash is like. I haven't
When
looked
his
that up.
promotion comes through, we'll be making it a lifetime partnership.
Yeah. Well, let's go find Carl and Dale and tell them this thing works.
Yeah, God, that cover is terrible. It's not even. It's terrible for a lot of reasons, but it doesn't. It just doesn't
I've never heard
like
of oil being found in the Pacific
makes.
Islands before. The detonations
Doesn't make sense like knowing the movie. Like that's the main characters, but it's an
Look, it
ensemble
seems to be
work.
coming from two sources. I suggest we trace them. Do you want to follow this oil underground?
I feel we must.
But the crab girl.
The crab is like a rattlesnake. It can be heard long before it can be seen. I believe we can keep out of its way if we only remain alert. He knows this better than we do.
I
That
hope
is
this
why he's
guy
trying
dies.
to reduce this island to a small corner from
I
which we
hope
can
this guy
escape.
just like eats shit after being
But the
like,
first sound of
no,
it.
I know how
Get out
crabs
now.
work.
All right, don't worry. Don't worry. You follow this stream, and I shall follow the other one.
I I haven't seen Pulp Fiction, Magnolia, or Southland Tales, but I wouldn't be surprised if Crash killed off its genre. Because it was like, people didn't like it, but they didn't hate it. And then it won an Oscar, and it's like, nobody liked it or hated it, and then it won an Oscar, and now people hated it. Because why? Because it won an Oscar. And it's like, That's not the kind of thing that should be winning on the Oscars, and it's a sign of like the disconnect between the Oscar voting base and real people. I haven't seen Kill Bill either. The Tarantino I've seen is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Inglourious Basterds.
The crab is heading straight for him. We've got to get him out before it's too late. Now let's go. Stay there, Monty.
I didn't even finish Inglourious Basterds. I knew that at the end the characters killed a bunch of Nazis, so I skipped to the after a point. I just skipped to the end and watched the heroes kill a bunch of Nazis. Yeah, the Academy sees a movie like saying things, and it's like it talks about race, but it talks about race in a way that says that the white people in the Academy aren't responsible for their racism, which makes them feel nice. And it's like, fuck off. Yeah, I have heard about Tarantino's foot fetish. I have like that is one of the memes I have heard about his filmmaking. This guy is like doing a good job dying.
Michael, get out of here.
Seeing that scientist eat shit is satisfying.
Keep going. I better light the oil back there. Come on, he knows what he's doing.
Tarantino does not get women. Tarantino, like, is just the epitome of a director who does not get women. Also, I believe that. I believe that it is 5 interrupted minutes of her feet.
Did you kill it?
No.
Because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a moment where it's like the
fire won't hold it very long.
I don't think it matters much anymore.
the Harley Quinn
Well, just so it holds
actress
long
just
enough for me
like
to get one message
props
away.
her feet up
One more
on
SOS.
the car
Hank, you got the radio?
That was quick thinking, Dale.
dashboard, and it's just like that's where the camera focuses. Oh god, I can tell a story about this. Tarantino is as the director who casts himself as the guy who says the N-word.
Must get through.
I know it.
Shout out to my friend in high school who thought Quentin Tarantino was black because of how he used because of how he used the N-word. He's just like, this is a director who this is how you make a black, like, this is how black directors make their movies. Like, God. Oh God, he cast himself as a guy who says it repeatedly. Yeah, from what I have seen of Quentin Tarantino, that seems about right. Yeah, God. This is a nice, that was a nice little effect. The island falling apart. Islands falling apart is like a surprisingly common trope as far as this sort of movie goes. But like low-key, I like this kind of trope where it's just like they need to leave the island.
The water's rising. Come on, Haim.
They need to leave the island before it gets destroyed. It's a good sense of tension. Oh Lord. Y'all are convincing me that I should not watch Pulp Fiction. I already convinced myself I shouldn't watch Pulp Fiction by watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Inglourious Basterds. But you guys are doing a good job of like selling me on never
I
watching
got
it.
2 grenades left. How about you? I got 4. Let's see what's in the toolbox.
Yeah, I'm no longer on speaking terms with a friend who likes Quentin Tarantino either.
Here, this looks good.
But, like, consider that he was the kind of person who thought Quentin Tarantino was black because of how he used the N-word. It was like, God, what was the phrasing he used? I think it was like urban or something.
Let's try and blast it, Hank.
It was bad. The crabs in this movie. Like, talking about the movie we're watching, the crabs in this movie are cool. I went into this movie wanting to see giant crabs, and
Watch it, Hank.
it has delivered. This movie is giving me everything I wanted and more. What's with the crab's eyes, though? Is that what real crab eyes are like? They're usually on little stalks. That makes sense.
He gave his life.
I know.
That's where they end it, huh?
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies.
Okay.
James' best
I'm ending it. So, yeah, movie. Movie happened. Yeah, they put human hides on a crab. It looks so bad. Yeah, that's just like, it's a very sudden way of ending a movie, which I kind of dig. Yeah, I was just like, he died for us. The end. Like, no lead in, no, like, hesitation. It's just like, he's dead. Moving on, or like, he's dead. Move on with your life. Those pictures sure did move. Yeah. I'm gonna go at this letterbox. I shared my letterbox in my DVD stream, but I'll probably post it later. Yeah, no consequences, only crab. That's certainly a way to end your movie. Thanks for coming, everyone. This was a great time. In the future, I think I might, like, do double features with, like, a break in between. At least if they're as short as this movie, because this was only an hour. This was a really short movie. So I might retool this format in the future. The crabs cut the rest of the film reel. The Abyss, I have a, like, list of movies I want to show on stream, and The Abyss is in there. And I do want to show public domain movies that aren't in the public domain at some point, but for those I need to, like, have it that people are getting their own local copies. Which is just kind of like, that's a different issue entirely. And that's something that, like, I will do that at some point, but it's going to be a different kind of stream than this. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of like movies that I want to watch with cool underwater filmmaking. The problem is that a lot of those are not in public domain. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, I don't know. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm gonna go now. Bye. Oh, yeah, The Meg is another movie that's, like, on my list. My list has over 150 movies. There's a lot in there. Yeah. Bye. 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 This was fun.